Couple of years down the road, you are still living in Austin, still doing comedy and stuff. You actually you started your own open mic in Austin. You were like, well, there's a lot of comedy on Sixth Street these days. Time to get in on the action. So you started an open mic at that Chick-fil-A on like Sixth and Congress or whatever. It's called Extra Crispy Comedy.
Did you read my diary of my manifestations?
Oh, you manifest. That's how it worked. Is like you've been keeping a list of manifestations that you've been making, and to be honest with you, lately they've been like working, but every once in a while they like kind of backfire. Like you really want. So you manifested like, oh, I want to do, start my own open mic. So you manifested it into the Chick-fil-A on Sixth and Congress. However, when it didn't work out, like one time you wrote down, you're like, I'm gonna manifest that I am going to become I'm gonna like cook more. That's what you manifested.
What's going on right now? Are you like, I'm freaking the fuck out. That's literally what's going on.
So that's the
What
thing. And so
I
you
put in
manifest.
my mind?
So
What
you, I get,
do?
yeah, people say it to me a lot. So you're like, oh, I'm going to cook more. And so you have been cooking more, but every single person that you've cooked for has gotten like violent diarrhea. So it's kind of like a give and take. And so it's like, yeah, like you manifested this open mic, but it's also at this Chick-fil-A. So Extra Crispy Comedy is going down every Tuesday night at 7:45.
Is that when signups are, or is that when the show starts?
Signups are at 7:45. The show starts at 7:46. It is a very weird like setup, but you're like, you know what? Let's shake things up. We're doing this in the middle of the Chick-fil-A, and we're starting. You have 1 minute to sign up, or you're fucked. That's kind of like how it works.
One
So
minute to sign up. That's insane.
so you're
Okay.
doing the 1 minute sign up thing. You're fucking manifesting left and right. Like you manifested. You're like, I'm trying to like get out more. I'm trying to like, meet more people and stuff like that. So you actually ended up not anymore, but for a while there you were like dating this dude, but it didn't really work out because so he is this guy's name is Brendan Leander. And Brendan Leander is part him and his he is the only he is like part of the first case of 100% identical twins. So
What
two of so what that means is so there's identical twins, right? And however, there's no such thing as people who look 100% alike, even identical twins. It's just there's always going to be something that's going to be a little bit different.
why are they called, like, why are they lying to us? Like, why are they called identical? Like, don't be called identical if you're not identical. Like, you not being identical in one small
Mhm.
way, it's just the same way as not being identical at all then. Because like I feel like identical is an all, it just is an all or nothing black or white term. You're either identical or you're not. If there's one thing that's off about identical twins, you're not identical. So I think
And that
100% identical is redundant.
and that's the thing that you said to like the first day you met him. Like you went on this whole diatribe about how like yeah, if they're not identical, and like by the end of it, like he's kind of like holy shit because he's like you're never going to believe this. Me and my brother are actually 100% identical, and you're like what? And so
They go up
like
to each other.
but that's the thing is that so when they're around each other, they are perfectly in sync. So like one they also like live together, and so like you'd go over, like he'd be like hey babe, come on over. I'm gonna make dinner. And you're like, yeah. And so like, Brandon Leander so his name is Brendan and his brother's name is
Oh,
Brandon.
oh
And
God.
so Brendan and Brandon, when you go over for dinner, like you see that they're doing the like moving in unison, like because they cook together and stuff.
It's kind of like the snap, like the filters on like TikTok where it's like you, but like you can choose the filter where there's like also like a whole fan of you.
Oh
It
yeah.
it's that essentially. So they look like a live Snapchat, like a real
It's a
TikTok
two-man fan.
two-man fan.
Yeah. Except so the reason that you guys and like, he was like a nice enough dude or whatever, like but the reason that it didn't work out is that like you could not tell them apart. And there would be
Calling me a, you calling me a whore?
no, no, no. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, so what would happen is you'd be like hanging out and Brennan would be sitting next to you. And then like you'd be talking to him or whatever. You guys be like watching TV or something. And then at some point, not even in like a amorous way, you'd like, like lean over on his shoulder or something like that. And he'd be like, oh, I'm not Brendan, I'm Brandon. And you'd be like, what the fuck? Like at some point he got up and moved and you didn't even notice. It's kind of
Oh,
like that thing where you ever, what is that? That thing where there's three cups and you put, a rock underneath one of them and you move him around and you know exactly what that rock is when he picks up that fucking cup. It's not there.
uh,
It's like that, but with people.
uh-huh.
And it just got too weird. And like, it's like nothing ever weird happened, but like it could have very easily and you would have no idea. And so you're like, you know what? This just also, they also dress alike. They wear the
Oh,
same outfits.
that yeah, that would I think, I would end it for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. It kind of seems like a lot of like mystery in this relationship, a lot of unknown. And I am searching for known, I
Sure.
want I want I want known. I want those who known, not
Yeah.
those who are unknown. The whole situation seems messy.
And you like explain that to him and he's like, oh, okay. And then the next day, him and his uh him and his brother die in a plane crash.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So
Um,
you're working at this open mic and you've kind of decided like, yeah, comedy rules, but I'm trying to express myself in like more than one way. Like for a while you did like you did like slam poetry where you'd go up there and be like, I feel alienation in this alien nation. And like that's all you would write. You kind of figured like, oh, I'll just make up the rest on the spot. And like it did not go well. And so now what you're doing is you're playing in a band. Do you play any instruments or sing or anything?
I love singing. Do I
Uh-huh.
do like would I do it to entertain somebody in a way that I'm like, I'm gonna do this at a show and get paid for it? I think if I was trained, I could get there. It's one of my biggest regrets not doing theater in high school. I think that would have catapulted my life in such a beautiful direction.
Yeah,
However, I'm grateful for everything that happened because everything happens for a reason. Blah 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 blah
sure.
blah. But really, biggest regret ever. And what was the question? Do I sing? Okay. Love singing in my car, love singing in the shower, love like singing musicals, love it, love it, love it, eat it up, eat it up.
Yeah,
Uh, I haven't, this is the last part of the thought. I was like
sure.
constipated for the thought.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
I have like I've had an Instagram account where I just sing like in the car, and it's called Samsung on an iPhone. Is that not amazing?
Is that real?
I swear to God. And I got a new phone, so I got logged out. And I'm like really annoyed about it because I haven't
Yeah.
posted it in a while. And like I've just been singing so much in the car because of Wicked. And I'm practicing. So I noticed the other day because I recorded myself and I listened to
Mhm.
it. Like, that's not bad. Like, I'm not
Sure.
good, but like, I'm not bad. Like, and some things sound nice. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I think I could do this if I tried. And it's like, I haven't been actively pursuing trying it, but beyond
sure.
practicing it on my own.
So the reason that you started like singing a lot more, this is a few years down the road, is that so that Instagram account that you had of you singing has like blown the fuck up. It has 10 million followers and like you can't figure out your password. So you're like, son of a bitch. And so like, and you just know that there's just like message after message of people trying to pay you money and shit. And you're like, what was that password? And so you've decided like, I'm going to start a band and I'm going to just say, fuck it. Maybe we don't even play out. I don't know, but I need to do something kind of new. And so you are in a band. Uh, So you guys sing, are you familiar with like 60s like girl groups and stuff like that? Like the Ronettes and stuff?
I can like picture what the vibe would be, but
Yeah.
I
The
say
pe like the where it's like be my little baby, that kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. Hey, my boyfriend's back. He's gonna kick your fucking
Oh my God.
asshole.
Oh my
Hey,
God. Oh my God. Oh
hey.
my God. Pat,
What?
remember like, do you remember some of the first videos you ever watched on YouTube?
Sure.
Like, I feel like some are just like cemented in your mind, like perhaps like shoes, right? Or like
Okay.
mom, or like my hands are bananas. Like certain things were just like the start of
Peanut
YouTube.
butter jelly time.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. I'm gonna come back to that thought because
Okay.
the first music video I ever saw was Thriller.
Mhm.
Um, we went to dinner as a family, my sister, my mom, my dad, and I.
Fuck
And
yeah.
my dad is a DJ, and so just it was like normal for him to be like hip with music, even though this is
Uh-huh.
not reference whatsoever.
Sure.
But he wanted to show us the Thriller music video. And I think part of that maybe was when 13 Going on 30 came out. I'm just intertwining stories, but it was
Uh-huh.
early seasons. And the only way we could watch the video was from LimeWire. So he downloaded it
Shit,
on the
yeah. Fuck yeah.
and then in the morning, like we had to wait until the
Probably
morning
took forever.
school to watch it. And like we were waiting for hours to watch the Thriller music video. Crazy, I forgot about that. That's insane.
Fuck yeah. And that's the
Wow.
thing that like made you kind of be like, I really need to play music is that so you fell asleep one night, like you were like, going to bed and stuff.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I
And
have to do again. I'm sorry for ruining your flow.
go.
The reason I said that is because the My Boyfriend's Back, there are these like little dancers, like these little girl dancers that was like a viral YouTube video to that song, but it was like
Uh-huh.
uh what is it called? Like a pop version of that song. So I
Uh-huh.
didn't know My Boyfriend's Back that you were just singing was from like the 60s and it was
Oh,
remade.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
That's just
yeah.
what happened in my head.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Be my little baby, my one and only. So like the whole thing is like, and you guys do the whole thing, like you dress up as it.
okay.
So it's you and you have like two background singers. And so you guys do the thing where it's like you wear like black dresses and like your hair is like huge, like it's like piled up, you know what I mean? And you've got like really like the really long like black gloves and shit like that, you know? Yeah, exactly. And you do the whole dance thing where like that, where yeah. And it's you guys are called Sammy and the Tammies. Your background your background singers are both named Tammy. And so you guys, yep.
T-A-M-I.
So yeah, so your name is spelled Sami, and their name is Tammy's. They spell it Tamis.
Crazy. Are they also identical twins?
No, they're not, but they've known each other since they were 2 years old. The two
No.
Tammys. Yeah,
Yep, for real, for real.
yeah. So you are like out one night doing a gig, and you guys are playing at the Driscoll Hotel in beautiful downtown Austin, Texas. They hire you guys. You guys are playing. So they're holding an event at the Driscoll called Charles Con.
Okay.
Charles Con is the largest gathering of people with the name Charles in North America. And your name has to be like to work there, to work the event, your name has to be Charles.
My
And
middle
Charlie is Charlie.
my middle name is Carly. I was named after a Charlie.
Sure. And that's the only reason why you guys were allowed in. Is
Hmm.
that like you didn't realize like how strict they were? Like you're seeing people like you're seeing like grown men being like brought out of Charles Con like just like covered in cuts and bruises and blood and stuff and you're like what's wrong and he's like my name's Tony and you're like oh shit and so but you go in and the gig goes really well, it's the first live gig that you've ever done with Sammy and the Tammies and it goes like really, really well. And you're like kind of on like a high, you know? And so you walk outside and you go, you know what? I am going to be really fucking nice to the next person that I see. I'm just going to walk up to somebody because I'm in such a good mood. I'm going to walk up to somebody and I'm going to say, hey, man, I hope you're having like a great, or like whatever. And so you look up and standing on the corner is this guy. Okay. He is wearing like a green jumpsuit. He's got stringy gray hair. And he kind of like looks down in the dumps. You know, he's got his hands in his pockets and stuff. And you're like, I'm gonna brighten this fucker's day. So you walk over to him and you go, hey. And this guy like looks up and he has the saddest eyes that you've ever seen in your fucking life. And even though you've never seen this person before, you don't know this guy, you know in the moment that you see him that like this guy doesn't have like any friends, you know? What would you say to him?
I would say, hold on, I'm putting myself in this position of walking up
Sure.
to.
And he looks up and he goes, yes. And his eyes have, even though they're sad, there's just a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, yeah. I would say, is there anything I can do to help support you today?
When this guy smiles,
Uh-huh.
it actually like you know how like in cartoon smiles like a smiley face where it's like you know the two eyes and then there's like the
Like
large
the Grinch smiley face?
yeah no like a standard smiley face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They have a
And
nice.
so yeah, so when he smiles, his smile is unnaturally large. It's like it goes up like beyond the upper part of his cheek.
Scared or comforted?
So he's smiling because he's like, whoa, like I never thought anybody would do that for me. And so he looks at you and he goes, well, I have some seeds for sale. He holds out his hand, and in his hand are like a bunch of seeds
Like, what kind of seeds?
for like a garden. He goes, they're vegetables. I'm the
Okay.
prince of vegetables.
Okay. Nice to meet you. I
He goes,
stand, I bow.
he shakes your hand. He's like, it's really nice to meet you too, Sammy. Anyway, here you go. And he just puts them in your hand. And then like you look down and for the first time you notice that his feet, they have like it's almost like he has skis, but they're like long, like the really large sticks of celery. And he has like really long like uh they're like ski poles, but they're like carrots. And he goes, see you around. And he just like scoots away down Sixth Street. You
That
never
sounds
see him again.
like any homeless person.
You what?
It sounds like any homeless person on Sixth Street.
Sure. Yeah, it is. But as he leaves, you kind of like watch him go and like you kind of have this like feeling, you know, like
I
you
have a
looked at
question.
go.
What is the difference between watching someone leave or watching someone go?
I think watching someone leaves implies that they were with you and they're leaving. Watching someone go, you just watch somebody that you're not involved in a conversation with or something, and you see them go away. Is what I think.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Fuck yeah. So you kind of like, and so you look down at like the thing of seeds, and you're like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. So you go home that night, and you go to sleep. You dream of a howling void. You wake up, and you're like, I'm gonna plant those fucking seeds today. Like you're feeling kind of like pumped. You know what I mean?
Like
So
something that
like something what?
like I'm looking forward to.
You're looking forward to it, yeah. And so you go outside. There's like a small little like garden in front of your house. You know you plant the seeds, you water them, and you just kind of go about your day. You know, you go inside, you're cleaning up a little bit, you're doing whatever, maybe you're writing a little bit. You go back outside, and where the garden is, where you planted the seeds, there's like knives growing.
Is okay. This is
What do you
I'm a
do?
little spooked. I'm a little spooked. I
Sure.
feel like I can't trust this man. Like I feel like kind of my kindness was taken advantage of. Like I'm gonna be open to you and supportive of you and like kind of go out of my way and you're giving me something that's like you're hurting me. Like that's danger. Maybe you didn't know that's what you were giving me when they were seeds.
Hmm.
Maybe I would think like maybe he really thought he was helping me grow by giving me these
Sure.
seeds, but he didn't do the work to find out where the fuck he got those seeds from.
The Prince
And
of
like
Vegetables?
yeah, like those were his parents' seeds, and he didn't do the work to realize his parents gave him a lot of trauma to then
Sure.
give kind
Would
of a
you
lot.
pick would you pick the knives out of the vines? The like it's a plant and there's like knives coming off of the plant.
I wouldn't touch them. I mean, I think an older version of me would go touch them because they're
Uh-huh.
shiny. But I think now I would be like, I'm gonna hurt myself. And at that point, he didn't hurt me because he
Yeah.
did. I him giving me the knives doesn't necessarily mean the knife seeds doesn't necessarily mean that I have to like hurt myself. If I choose to go
Sure.
to, then that's then my choice, and I'm hurting myself by making that decision. So I know today I wouldn't touch the knives. I would just honestly just if it's my front yard, I would just move. I would move.
So you go back inside and you're like kind of freaking out about this and you like, you're looking up like places to move, you're looking, stuff like that. And then there's like a knock on your front door. What do you do?
It's on the front door of the home that I'm currently living.
Uh-huh.
I would probably do nothing and I would pretend that I didn't hear it and stand still. Like it's always so funny when someone knocks at the door and I don't want them to know that I'm home and I just like don't move. Like they can't
As
see,
if that would, yeah, 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 yeah.
but also if they could that would be a problem. Like they would that they would be inside, but which means they
Yeah,
would.
because then they can see you kind of like looking like a fool, yeah. And so
Yeah,
you
I
kind of
don't
like so you do the thing where like you kind of like freeze and you're like, hell yeah. And then you wait for a second when you're confident that no one's going to knock again. Like you walk back over, you kind of look through the people. And now in addition to like the plants that have like knives coming off of them, there's like other plants that have like various forms of weaponry growing out of them. So there's like assault rifles and there's like some brass knuckles on one of them. There's like different guns. There's like different blades. There's like a really cool looking shield that has your name on it. What would you do?
I think I'd take a picture of it.
So you take a picture of it and you're just like, I don't know what's going on here. And then like you look at your phone and like you can't see it. You're like, what the hell? And then you try to take another picture of it, and then your phone just like shatters.
I think there's been so many times, so to like see what I would do next, I'm thinking about like times where I've had that experience and it's only ever been when I've waken up from a dream where I've taken this dream has happened at least 3 times, which is like 3 times too much. It's a little
Uh huh.
but I love it and I also hate it. I meet
Sure.
Harry Styles and we take a selfie and it's like in my phone we took a selfie and I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is look through my photos to see if that was real or not. And like it never happened. And that's why, like, 3 times I can't control my dreams, but I need to not go straight to my phone when that happens because it was
Oh,
up.
sure.
I should know that by now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm annoyed when my phone shatters because it's like,
What's real?
yeah, it's very Inception-y. And it makes me kind of want to scream to see if I can scream myself awake.
So you are like, this is you're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this. And so you decide to just like do like a primal scream thing. And so you walk out to your car, you get in, because you don't want to scream in your house because like the walls are really thin and stuff. So you're like, fuck, I'm just gonna go into my car. So you get in the car, you close the door, and you're about to start screaming when suddenly you look up and you see in the review mirror,
You say review?
yeah, or the rear view.
Okay.
I always mess. Yeah, Aaron makes fun of me for that too. I always say that
What is
review,
review though? That's crazy. What do
review.
you,
I don't know. Rear view. I think is what I'm trying to say. I
yeah.
think.
I wonder, like there are some words like uh I realize the phrase let go, I would
Mhm.
say I would say it as if it was spelled Lekkko. And I was saying
Uh,
it really slow and I was like, just let go. I'm like, what the fuck is let go? I'm like, oh, I'm saying let go.
yeah, yeah. That's not even like slurring your words like what I do a lot. That's just kind of insane.
Yeah.
And so like you're about to start screaming, and you kind of remember like, oh yeah, I say let go sometimes, and you're like, what is up with that? And then you
Yeah.
look up, and in the rear view mirror, you see that there's like someone sitting in the back seat, and you go, what the fuck? And you turn around, and there's like no one sitting there,
That's so spooky. That's too spooky. That's
and
so
you're and you
terrifying.
go, yeah, and you kind of go like, well, that's kind of spooky, and you turn back around, and now you can actually see like, so he's in the rear view mirror again. It's this dude. He his face is made of like smoke basically, and he's holding a cigarette, and he has like one his left eye like glows red,
You
and
say
you
it like it's just your average Joe.
and you're like, well, and you turn around and there's like nobody there, and you're like, what is this? And you look back and he's in the rear view mirror, and you hear a voice go, hello, Sammy, I'm the man in the back seat. Who gave you those seeds? What do you say?
What seats? Which seats are you talking about? How did you get there?
He goes, he kind of like takes like a long drag of his cigarette,
Am
blows it out. Are you what?
I afraid of him or like
But would
comforted?
you be a man with a face of smoke and a glowing left eye that only appears in your rear view mirror? I don't know. Would you be scared of someone like that?
I would have slight hesitation to welcome him into my inner circle.
And you kind of like are just staring at him, and you go like, you kind of say that you're like, I don't know if I'm going to welcome you into my inner circle. And he goes like, and he goes, I'll ask you one more time. Where'd you get those seeds? What would you say?
I got them. I got them. I got them. I'll tell you where I got them.
He goes, I love that singing Instagram that you have, by the way.
Thank you so much. And I think you should know that I got them because of a result of choices that I've made. And they like landed they didn't land in my lap like I actively took them in.
Hmm.
Uh however, I wasn't consciously aware of the choices I was making when I chose to be in an environment that gave me those seeds.
And
That's what
he goes, oh, good to know. And then you see that he kind of makes a fist, and then your car explodes.
am I in the
Your
car?
Yeah, you fucking die, dude. Your car explodes. It actually sets off like a chain reaction in your parking lot. Like a bunch of other cars, both on your left and your right, also explode. Uh, and it ends up like burning down like the whole like neighborhood and stuff like that.
Is this
And
in
so,
California?
so like 30, yeah, no, is it? No, it's here in Austin. And so, 37 people end up dying because of it. The next day, your like your neighbor finds like this like stash of weapons that you have growing, and like they take them home, and they're like, "Fuck yeah, this rules." But yeah, you're dead. You
That's
died.
gonna happen inevitably anyway. And like, I'd rather die not by the knives.
Yeah, you died in an explosion instead.